The Bunker Project is brought to you by Wix.com, the number one place to set up a website online.
Sounds cool. I like that. You know, they make a great sponsor.
They do. And this is Bunker Project episode number 93.
Ooh, 3.
And welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. And Bob's right, the Wix, boys at Wix, great sponsor of The Bunker Project.
Oh, they're awesome.
Oh, I love Wix.
Yeah, well, you use Wix, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I know, I use Wix as well.
For
Very cool.
goodbyetax.ca?
Yes, goodbyetax.ca.
That's an awesome URL.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Good
so,
good ESO, SEL, PLF, what's it? SCO, PL4. One of those acronyms.
It's
that
catchy
means that
too.
people can find it on Google.
And people remember it. It's not just SEO. It's a memorable URL. Anyways, let's do roundtable introductions. I'm Andrew McGivern at Podcast Hero on Twitter.
That's it. That was quick.
Yep.
We're supposed to be doing great. Hi, this is Bob Garlick from what can I say? Social Content Group, the garlicmarketing.com, the businessbooktalk.com. There's I could go on all day. Next.
Bonnie Sainsbury at B Sainsbury, womentalkingtech.com, bonniesainsbury.com, and you don't want to know about the other ones.
Those are the porn ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we would like to know. That's Marcella Point from themovieyearbook.com, on Twitter at movieyearbook.
No, aren't you looking for a sponsor, dude?
Maybe. I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
I think you should be. He's asking for it. Like, he's such a shy guy. He's asking for a sponsor to get him into movie theaters. So what he wants is either really rugged, handsome men with lots of money that are willing to take him to movie theaters, or really sexy, foxy ladies with long, long legs that have lots of money and are willing to take him to a movie.
I don't think I ever mentioned the second one, but whatevs.
Hey, he doesn't
If you
care
get
what
into a
sex it is
movie-
as long as it's in a movie theater, right? Yeah. All right.
Sure.
And Satomi's in the house.
Oh, okay. So, hi, it's Satomi Hirano, and you can find me at goodbyetax.ca. And I help people pay their mortgages off faster, reduce their taxes, and save some money.
And you do it in such a nice way, too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, is that my turn?
Oh, well done.
Oh.
Hey, you've got like 2 sets of glasses on, dude. It's very confusing.
I do.
All right.
No, it's just because, one's sunglasses and one's regular glasses because it's the summer solstice today. So
It is. Yeah, and you don't want to get sunburn on the crown of your head. I mean, that's uncool. Man.
Well, I don't know. That might happen for you, but
No, for sure. That's why I have my hair so wafer thin. Wafer thin.
wafer thin.
Wafer thin.
But I am James Carg at twisted_magic, MAJIC, because I put the J in magic.
All
and I'm the
right.
gaming maven.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Paper beast.
And you actually are going to get a certificate
Oh, yeah, Mavenhood.
as soon as you go onto your iPhone and give the Bunker Project a review.
That's a big thing, yeah. I went out, and anybody that has Maven status in the Hangout, not the Hangout, in the meetup.com. So if you've got your a subname as a Maven, I made you a Maven certificate, and it's just sitting there ready to go. So give me an email saying, oh, yeah, I just did it. I just said you guys are crap.
How do you rate a podcast on iTunes?
As high as possible. That's how you rate
5
it.
stars, yeah.
I 5-starred every single episode.
No.
That's at meetup.com.
That's meetup.com.
No. On iTunes, I 5-starred every single episode.
I think it's a review. No, it's
The whole
I think you have to-
podcast.
Oh, so
Yeah.
how do I do that?
Right
Just
under,
it just says review and rate and review. You click on that when you're in iTunes. Marcel actually is the only person in the room here that's actually given a review.
I
So
gave a
Seriously?
review,
Well,
but
yeah,
that's
but
biased.
How am I on the ball with anything? That's never happened.
Yeah.
He's just ahead of the curve, dude.
He is
ahead of the
man.
curve.
He's ahead of the curve.
I know.
Anyways, what are we talking about this week?
No,
Bob?
we got one more Raven, man.
Yeah. Sanj Sukarkar, Genesis Designs, anything and everything website related.
Joomla rules.
Twitter handle @Genesis Designs.
All right.
Nice.
So now, what are we going to talk about, man? I'm bored. When are we going to get there? And other quippy little statements.
Well, lots of things have happened.
We got
We've
62 pages of notes again. Look at this.
Yeah. Today we have a plan. We're scripted.
Speaking of iTunes, since we were just talking about iTunes, Bob put some interesting facts into the show notes.
Did I?
Yeah, Apple is pushing
Didn't mean to do that.
podcasts out of iTunes.
Yeah, but that's being sensational, man. They're not getting rid of it. They're just putting it into its own area. They're trying to simplify iTunes. Now, everybody hates iTunes.
Yes.
That knows anything about interfaces. And I think what Apple's trying to do is simplify, because when you go into iTunes, it's got like all this movie stuff, it's got TV stuff, it's got games, it's got way too much stuff. So what I think they're doing is slowly moving podcasting to their own little house. Their own little
Well, they're
zone.
actually not
Very
changing it on the desktop. They're changing it in the apps.
in the
so
apps, yeah.
so like you won't be able to get podcasts on the iTunes app. You'll have a separate app just for podcasts, a separate app for iTunes University, and I don't know. I don't think.
And movies. They're
I'm
going to
not
do
a-
it with movies.
I'm not a big fan.
Why?
I don't think you should have separate apps for all that stuff.
It's
What if
hard
you-
to find podcasts already using the iTunes app on your.
Well, I don't use iTunes
Device.
at all.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even use iTunes for my
I
device.
use Pocket Casts.
Yeah, I do too. They're
Yeah.
awesome. What do you think of the new logo? I think it sucks.
I like.
I'd never
The
noticed.
old-fashioned looking microphone.
It's still good
Doesn't
if you
stand out.
subscribe to podcasts such as the Bunker Project, and when you start up iTunes, it downloads your newest episodes, and then when you connect your phone
Yeah, but there's an
to
extra
a power
step.
supply,
There's an extra step that you don't need.
true.
So what you're doing is it's kind of the old way, is to download it into your computer and then sync it. But now with a smartphone app over
Just
Wi-Fi,
downloads
yeah, it does.
it just automatically downloads it.
But
it does, but you have to be connected to a power supply.
No. No, just with my phone. Well, it depends. It's more your bandwidth, because I got a warning on my phone: 865 megabytes worth of podcasts downloaded on. But I've got unlimited, so I don't really care. But the phone's freaking out. It's going, which is kind of dumb with the new Android thing. It's like, oh, did you know you've done all this stuff? And what about your bandwidth? And you're going to be paying extra. Well, why can't I go into the interface and say, dude, I've got unlimited. I don't care. You have no option to do that. So I get this warning halfway through the month saying, man, you got like almost 850 megabytes worth of downloads on your phone. Warning, and it got this stupid warning sign you can't get rid of. So, anyways, there is a workaround. It's just you just move your starting date the day before, and then it starts up again. But I mean, bad design, bad Google, bad.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. So, but I don't know. I just don't. I kind of like being able to search for things and finding it in one spot.
Yeah, well, you know what? The way I work it is if I'm listening to a podcast and somebody mentions another podcast, I'll instantly back out of what I'm listening to. I can still listen. And then I'll do a search for that podcast while it's fresh, subscribe to it, download a couple of shows, and then listen to those shows. If I don't like it, then I'll just throw it away.
Yeah, I do that all the time too.
So I've got like 9 shows that I'm listening to right now. How many are you listening to, dude?
Oh, geez,
30,
probably
40.
15 or so.
Do you
I
actually
don't
listen to every show?
No, not like, for instance, I'm listening to The Rise to the Top with David Seidman Garland.
Good.
It's a great show. But I don't listen to it. It's not one of my shows that I listen to regularly, but if I don't have a show or an episode of like This Week in Tech or whatever, he's got 341 episodes. So, I mean, and they're all good.
But what are they about?
He interviews entrepreneurs and social media people and all sorts of and even celebrities, anybody who's done something important in their life, and ask them how they did it, and just it's kind of interesting. He's this really high energy guy.
Who's this?
His David Seidman Garland. The podcast called The Rise to the Top. He has a video and audio version of the show. Awesome show. At the very end, he has this little pink bunny, and he says, "If you want some fluff, go pet a bunny."
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right, I'll check it out. I don't have that one. Podcast that I could run. Oh, I've been listening to for immediate release. Awesome. It's a PR specialist one guy in London, one guy in California, and they both talk about what's happening in PR, social media. These guys are serious researchers. I mean, they are top of their game.
Oh, yeah, your brain hurts after the end of that one.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes, but they're more newsy stuff. So if you listen to a show that's over a year old, it's out of date. So it's something you can jump in now and not feel bad that you've missed 300 shows. The other thing too is they do the occasional book review, and they're brutal. I mean, the guy either shreds the book and says don't waste your time, or says definitely you should read the book. And these are for people that are in the communication industry. So if you're a professional PR, social media person, you should be listening to the show just to keep up what's going on. One of the very interesting things, they were a speaker at Wikipedia. They had a global conference, and a lot of problems that Wikipedia's got right now is you can make a wiki page about your corporation, but somebody can go in there and change stuff, and it's very hard to get a hold of Wikipedia to change it back. And there's lots of bias and problems, and they were part of the people that helped the global communities get together from the PR side and from the company side, because there was a big divide, and they're trying to patch that up. So very, very interesting. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Very cool. So what do you think of Steve Jobs going thermonuclear on Google?
That's old news, dude.
Isn't he dead?
Well, why'd you put it in the show notes?
Oh, did I? Sorry. These show notes are like, it's 48 pages of show notes yet again. There's been so much stuff going on. I cannot remember what I cut and paste into the show. And I must admit, I've been so busy today, I haven't had a chance to review. So what does it say? Let's discover it together.
Yeah, well,
What?
this is what you put in. This is one of your stories. But anyways, Steve Jobs, before he died, he told biographer Walter Isaacson that he was willing to go thermonuclear with Google over Android because it's a stolen product. And
Wait, can we go back to that review thing? I can't believe that his name is Marsmell on iTunes. That's pretty funny.
Marsmell. Are you pronouncing it wrong?
No, it says Marsmell.
Just kidding.
Sorry. That was pretty funny, though.
I'm really cool, guys.
yeah, Marsmell. Yeah,
So go along and search for Marsmell. if you wanna
Marsmell.
see More of
Fun
his,
thing to look up.
more of his stuff.
Marsmell. It's because he farts all the time.
But yeah, Google and Steve Jobs hated each other.
Oh, big time.
They did.
No kidding.
They did. But he also apparently, before he died, I believe this is in the article that Bob put, was complaining about using the oxygen mask because of the way that it was designed.
I know.
Yeah, he didn't want to use it because of.
I don't know about you guys, but if I'm in medical care and they're trying to give me oxygen, I'm going to be cool with whatever they want, But he loved his design, and he was always, user-centric. He also said that if he didn't go to Stanford, I believe it was that in California? Berkeley?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever school it was, he used to, drop in there. He didn't go to school there. But if he didn't take a typography class, there wouldn't be so many different fonts on the Apple machine.
Yeah, he was. He used fonts as a metaphor for many, many, many things. The simplicity, the lines, the way it works, the functionality.
Yeah,
Hey, maybe he didn't talk in that type of voice, but I'm sure he was screaming at people lots of times. It's the goddamn functionality, guys! Get it together! You're all fired. He was a bit of a jerk, actually. I listened to the unofficial book on audiophile many years ago, the unofficial biography of Steve Jobs, and he was a bit of a tyrant. That's how you push a large company like that together. It's like people. He hired very, very, very intelligent people, and then pushed them way past what they think that they could ever do. So,
I read his Wikipedia page the other day, and it's not pretty. He had a fight with the city that he was in. I forget, it's Pasadena or whatever it was, about some lot that his house was built on or whatever. Just a bitter person. Never donated a single penny to anybody just because he didn't think that he owes anybody anything. In fact, the universe owes him that sort of attitude. And I'm like, come on, buddy, get on with it.
Interesting. Well, I mean, this whole legal battle with Android, it's kind of ridiculous. Here's one of the the points that they're suing over. Apple is arguing that Samsung ripped off its iPhone design because both companies have phones that are a rectangular product with 4 evenly rounded corners, a flat clear covering the front of the product, and a large display screen under the clear surface. Which,
How dare they?
so every smartphone looks like that now, and a lot of phones looked like that before the iPhone. So how can you actually assert any legal right to that general a design? Now, I could say, if it was exactly the same, sure. But I mean, just generally a rectangular phone with a glass surface. And
This doesn't look like an iPhone.
That's like Ford
That's why
suing
there's a
all
bump.
car companies.
well, it
saying-
is rectangular, and it does.
It does, but it's got a bump. An
Yeah.
iPhone doesn't
Well,
have a bump.
I know. Well, the Samsung, the reason it's got a little boom there is so that they wouldn't get sued. I'm sure.
Is that-
I'm sure.
Oh, just a
No,
minute.
because not all Samsungs have that little bump.
Bump.
The little boom.
No,
I don't know why it's there.
I think it's like
I think
I'm
it's
just going
very-
to take it apart and find out.
Okay, well, okay. Or power it off first. Oh, too late. Oh,
No,
Bonnie's
there's-
phone just exploded.
No, I
There's
do-
fire everywhere.
I drop it all the time, unlike an Apple product, which would have exploded if I
well,
dropped it.
shattered. It would have shattered.
There's no reason except
It's just- well,
design.
No, look at the actual phone. It's got a bump, the physical bump. That's for, they put something in there.
Well, this is a fun tangent.
I'm not taking it apart that much.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
Anyways,
Don't recommend
trying to kill Google using lawsuits is not working. They're not winning. But what they are doing is they're trying to kill Google on a competitive basis. And one of the things they're doing is eliminating Google Maps from their platform, which is interesting.
I'm really scared about that.
Well, I think the reason that they're saying Google is the enemy, number one, it's big enough to be a good enemy. It's basically to motivate his staff. It's like, look, guys, we have a common enemy. If you don't have a common enemy and you're number one, how do you motivate the staff? How do you drive them forward? How do you make them work at 300%?
Whips.
So, yeah, exactly. Well, basically, the tool that he's using is like, look at what Google's doing. If we don't deal with Google, they're going to take over the world and blah, 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 blah. So that's why I need you to work extra hours. And people go, oh, okay. Because once you've paid a person X amount of money, I think it's, I was talking to a psychologist about one of his books the other day, and he said, after you get paid $75,000, any money past that doesn't motivate you anymore. Personally, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
But really, if you're getting $75,000 every year, boom, 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 average, strong company, and they say, well, look, we'll give you $25,000 more. You actually don't have a huge increase of productivity because you're being given $25,000 more. But if the guy comes in and says, look, we're going to continue to give you $75,000, but we're being attacked by Google, and if we don't get it together, we're not going to be in business in 3 years. We really got to hustle. We got to push this department forward. You're going to work harder. So
Yeah,
that's what he did.
yeah, and it works.
Well, yeah, look at they put out the iPad too.
And it iOS 6, 7, 8? What's the new
Just
iOS?
kidding.
iOS 6, yeah.
iOS
hey,
7.
Well, they are going after the search business because Google's Maps platform is huge for their local search. And yeah, I'll have a beer. And without that, it's definitely going to hurt because they have a significant share in the mobile space with the iPhone and the iPad. So they're going to a completely new Apple built or acquired. They acquired a number of mapping companies over the past couple of years, and it was originally said they were going to be using Open Maps, but they're not. They're actually using a brand new mapping.
Well, they've been buying mapping companies for years.
Yeah,
I can't understand why Google and Apple would be having this.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah, like they're two different. Aren't they two different? They're not in this competition with each other.
yeah, they are with the iPhone and the Android
Google?
platform. Oh yeah,
Sure. Well, Google has the Android phone platform. They also got search, which definitely everybody wants to get a piece of.
yeah,
they've
and
got,
Siri is actually going to be Apple's new search engine. They just added sports scores.
Oh, you mean Apple didn't like Google's search engine that they use for their phones? And
Well, actually, Siri is the voice operated thing where you talk, hi.
What are you doing there?
Oh,
Movie Maven?
somebody's movie Maven's watching a movie. What an addict! Which movie are you watching, man? The Zombie
It was
Attack
like a
4?
commercial on a website. It was an accident.
Yeah, if you hear some clicky in the background, that is the movie Maven writing reviews.
Yeah, so if you're wondering what the score of the hockey game is, you can just ask Siri, and Siri will get the data for you right away.
LA
without,
Kings
without,
won the
go,
cup.
Now,
without Googling it.
Penelope or something is, I forget the name of the woman. Android now has Penelope or Susie or
Well, apparently the
George
Android
or something.
Well,
the Android version of Siri, the same concept, is way better. Siri crashes. It's really having a hard time. James, you don't agree?
well, no, I'm just wondering, when did Tom Cruise's daughter become like this search engine? Oh,
Movie reference.
Okay.
sorry.
Good one.
But if they choose to call their thing Penelope, I just can't see people using it because it just
Well, the thing is that makes it
Have you-
complicated.
No, it isn't. It's Jane or... I
Well,
forget.
it's complicated because
Jane's a good one.
Samsung
Ask
has their
Jane.
own version, and I'm sure LG, and everybody's got their own version.
yeah, it could be
So-
like Ask Jeeves, but that's like 1996.
Wow, that is so 96, dude.
97, 98. But I don't know, yeah, they're trying to knock each other's block off. It's good. It's competition. It's great for the consumer, and it helps increase innovation. I don't see anything wrong
And
with
actually,
it.
their mapping software looks pretty cool.
The three-dimensional maps they've got on Google.
Yeah.
that
Well,
looks
no,
pretty cool.
not on Google. They're the new Apple Maps.
It's a copy of what Google's been working on.
It looks
Apple
really cool.
Maps.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
something
it-
called Apple Maps.
Well,
Yeah,
in
that's the big
IO,
new thing.
iOS 6 is abandoning Google Maps and with putting out their own platform. They've acquired. I can't remember the name of the company. Place or something.
Yeah.
Is the name of the company that they bought, and they're using that platform. There's a couple downsides to it. It doesn't have Street View,
Yeah,
so
oops.
iPhone users that are used to Street View don't get it anymore.
It also doesn't have turn by turn.
It does have turn by turn.
It does now.
So that is a
I thought it didn't.
That is a plus. No, the new Apple Maps does have turn by turn.
My bad.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the Windows Phone platform is no longer using Bing Maps. They're going with Nokia's Ovi Maps, which is way better, and actually very similar to the new Apple Maps.
I like open source maps. That is way cool because you can actually add stuff and correct stuff and send it in, and it updates the maps. And you can actually do that now with Google Maps. Did you know that? You can go into Google Maps, say, hey, this street's been changed. This is a dead end street. And you put it in there, edit it, send it to Google. They will check. And then if they approve it, it is added to Google Maps. And I've done that with a bunch of trails in my neighborhood.
That don't
and they've
really exist.
They've updated the trails. No, they exist. They're
Oh,
cool.
Google rocks.
Yeah, I know.
I heart Google.
Oh.
I heart iPhone.
So the other thing
I
that
heart Google more.
All right,
I
enough
heart mobile.
Okay, Heartfest.
I don't care who it is as long as they make a good phone.
Yeah, I
heart
agree.
Good
Hyper.
software.
I agree with the gaming maven. Hey, but the iOS 6, they deeply integrated Facebook right into the iOS. So now you'll be able to post right from your pictures, post them to Facebook without having to go into the app. It's
Oh, that's
pretty cool.
better because that app sucks.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Facebook development team, but just
So
gotta call you out there.
Apple's married
It's a
to
hard
Facebook?
thing to do. Well, it's a hard thing to do, man. Make those apps work.
It just needs to be faster. That's the only thing they need to
Yeah.
improve on.
You
But
think
it's
so?
a lot of data they're taking in, right? So it's hard, and it's customized to each person. So, yeah.
So this is actually pretty cool. It's like when you're in the App Store, you'll be able to see what apps your friends have and which apps your friends like. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Talking about apps, guess what I downloaded today? For traffic and maps, there's one called Waze.
Wooz.
W-A-Z-E.
W-U-Z.
No,
It's a E.
A-Z-E.
No, it's not Waze. It's Wooz.
Are you
Is it?
serious?
No, it is Waze. I was just...
Oh, got you.
Got you.
Oh,
But until everybody uses it, it's kind of useless.
yeah.
So,
well, like
but it's
everything.
awesome because it allows you to pinpoint, where's cops, where's a traffic jam, things like that. But I don't know if I want to see Sanjay on his phone, like, you know,
I know.
checking in and being like, there's a traffic jam right here. Oh my God, and now I just caused another one.
So I guess you have to have a car
But it's
for that, huh?
It's kind of scary
Oh,
too,
well.
though, is it actually shows your exact location, even if you're in your garage.
Yeah.
So other users could actually see, oh, that person's leaving their house.
Oh.
But they can see me?
Yeah.
God
You're not
damn it.
anonymous.
God dang it.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing.
Didn't you like turn it on and go, oh man, that's me? Wait, there's somebody. Oh, this is creepy.
well,
Hang on,
it's good for children, right? You can keep track of
Yeah,
them.
it's great for children. Depending on,
Yeah, for stalking children.
Oh, stalking.
not that we advise that on the Bunker Project.
No,
No.
not at all.
No. But it is a great app, and he's,
Unless
he's
for
correct.
your
The
own.
problem with all these apps that use location-based stuff is it eats your battery for lunch. I'm sorry, but
It
that's
does.
just the way it is.
This is a cool thing, though. It does provide alternate routes, and it does give you coins, and you can drive over those coins, and you get points.
Right, but
and
you still have to have your location
It's
beacon
turned on,
and
yeah, all
and
the
it
time.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Oh, I only get a half a day's worth of battery life.
It would be good if it
Until
was
they
in a
prove
smart
that.
car, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're driving, you just
Oh,
have a car charger. If
what's
you
that
don't, you
car
have a
being
battery
driving?
pack.
Yeah, what's that car being driving?
The
recently?
Prius.
God, I mean, this new Prius car, holy crap, what an awesome car. It's got a USB external thing. I said, oh, wow, great. And talks to my phone. Very, very nice. So I can be charging my phone. I want to make it's got a big TV monitor in it. Well, you know,
That's for
10-inch.
backup.
And then I said, I can dial in numbers and stuff like that. So
What
it's
the-
great. It's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Touch screen. The problem with it, it's like driving a lawnmower. It's like this tiny, tiny engine. It's like, woo, 15 kilometers an hour. Excellent. So it's underpowered. But the reason that is trying to save the economy by only having 6 cylinders and being small cylinders, so we're not using lots of gas. Blah blah blah. It's got a battery to back stuff up, but I was impressed with the technology. You know,
Were you
like a
test
small
driving
car.
it?
No, it's a co-op car. So
Ooh, where is it?
Wellington Safeway in Burnaby.
Oh,
It's okay.
too far from me.
They switch out the cars all the time. Like it used to be a nice little Honda that I used to drive, big car. But yeah, it's sweet. It's got it's got 4,000 kilometers on this car. It basically drove it off the lot. I mean, it's like driving a brand new car. It's awesome.
Cool.
In my neighborhood, we have a 1996 Toyota
Well, they'll switch that out.
in 2095.
You know what we're talking about is co-op cars, which is basically a system that you join, a co-op that you join, and basically gives you permission to use their cars. You pay per hour and mileage and gas consumption, and it's a wonderful system. If you got one car, if you have no car, I highly recommend it. Now, Andrew uses Zip cars.
No, I don't use Zipcar.
which
I'm
one are you
on
using now?
Co-op Moto.
Oh, you're on
and
co-op now.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I've never been on Zipcar,
Oh,
but
I
I'm
have.
also on Car2Go.
Oh, how
Oh, yes,
fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
a car to go too, but I never got to use the Zip car when I was a member for a year.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And I
use
even had 200 free kilometers or something. No, when you live in the West End, you walk everywhere.
Yeah, you gotta
and
get out of
whatever
the city,
you do,
lady.
You take the bus.
Yeah, but sometimes you're running late, so you just grab a Car2Go. You can go one way on Car2Go.
That's
which is
the
awesome.
bonus with car to
Well,
go.
car to go,
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
tried
more
it yet.
expensive if you go on a longer trip, but
Yeah.
you would just use it to get somewhere quick and then
Yeah.
drop it anywhere.
Hey, I drove to the States today and back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. Because it's a co-op, you can legally drive to the
Yes.
States. And they say, is that your car? It says, I'm a member of a co-op. And the guy goes, okay. Boom. Right into the States. Awesome.
I know. I love that.
Highly recommend it.
So let's go back to that app because I'm sure that
Which app? Oh, the co-op app.
No, the Waze app. Because I'm sure that
the Waze.
he had some good things to say about it. So
No,
Yep.
you
I
said
cut
it
him
all.
off.
Ways and means.
You
means.
said it all.
Oh,
Oh.
I feel bad.
Hey, actually, let me throw this one out then. What is your favorite location app? Is it Foursquare? Is it what? Which one actually do you like? Because what you're doing is you're sacrificing your battery life. So what
like
app
Foursquare.
out there? Yeah, what app out there justifies having to recharge your phone twice a day?
Foursquare, Path.
That's cool.
Well, on my phone, I have my location turned on all the time. It'll last a day if I'm not listening to podcast or using the screen. The screen is what really takes the battery life.
Yeah, and if you have an iPhone, then you're gonna have
But it's
the
true that-
sunlight thing to turn down your screen. So it's
Yeah,
not bad.
it's true that the the location does use up your battery quicker.
Yeah, it uses up my battery big
But
time.
but really, it's the screen. If you're on your phone, playing a game or draw something.
Yeah, if I'm playing
that'll-
Draw Something or Tiny Tower or
Like if you look at the
Paper
battery consumption
Pocket Plane.
screen where it shows where your battery went, it's like 80% screen
And music.
for me, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Music's a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you think music eats up
Oh yeah.
power?
Yeah.
So that means podcasts eat up.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
My phone gets really hot actually by paying.
Yeah,
podcasts.
so does mine when I play.
What's
a lot of
with
music.
that?
depends on
What
what
the-
podcast.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, well, I
Like the Devil's Hour is like the hottest podcast ever.
Yeah, but just after that, Steamy Jane is pretty hot too.
I don't know if that's a real podcast, but that sounds good.
It sounds like I want. Ooh,
We should
Steamy Jane.
totally find some people to do
Either.
stuff.
Bob's going to run out and register that URL right after
Yes,
the show.
We should.
Steamy Jane, I tell you, she has got the deepest voice I've ever heard in a female. That's amazing.
But I do like
Steamy Jane.
But I do like Foursquare. I do like Path. I don't really use Facebook Places because not
The
everybody on
interface sucks.
Facebook. I don't know. It's just I don't want everybody on Facebook to know exactly what I'm doing.
Do you use Path?
I do use Path sometimes.
I haven't used it.
It's good for a smaller network of people that you care to
Yeah.
share with. Things like that. I use Foursquare. Sometimes I'll put it out to Twitter if I want to give a place a shout out or something like that. You'd be surprised how many businesses don't have it set up to say, that you're at their location through their Twitter address
Oh
after.
yeah, we're
So
light
it's
years
like-
ahead.
I don't know if it's light years. It's just it might be a worthwhile thing for businesses to look into.
You know how many businesses aren't even registered on Google Maps? I mean, that's a free thing.
Lots.
I mean, like you zoom in Google Maps and it'll have like a street. It'll have like 10 locations.
well, they're all
out of 50
they're
or
all
60.
registered there because Google registered them. But the thing is,
Yeah,
they're
automatically.
Yeah, but they're registered like the company that I used to work for before it was purchased by another company didn't have the keywords in their places page that people were actually looking for. So they'd be looking for, if you were actually typing in the name of the company, the pin would drop on the map. But if you're looking for TELUS store, no, it didn't come. Nothing happened. If you put TELUS or TELUS dealer, nothing happened. Cell phone repair, nothing happened.
Or like TELUS dealer Vancouver.
But you know what
or
did
Phones
happen?
Vancouver.
A store that was like about a 10, 15-minute drive away, came up as the closest one on the map. So what you had to do is you had to optimize your places page with the relevant keywords for what people are actually looking for.
That's an awesome
And,
tip, actually.
Yeah, but it's all different now because Google Places is gone, and it's all now in Google Plus Local.
Yep.
So now you're in Google Plus, not in Google Places.
So there's no way to SEO that at all?
No, it's still the same thing. It's just
Yeah, there you
you're
go.
embedded into Google
Plus.
Plus now instead of Places.
But I like Foursquare down in the States because if you have your American Express, some places give you 10% off if you're going to pay with it. So, and if you're mayor of different places, you get
Prestige.
perks and stuff like that. It's fun.
Why do they just have mayors? How come you can't be a king?
Yeah, that's a good question.
How come I can't get into like a courtly manner and have?
I think it should be based upon what the business thinks it is. I don't think there should be like a mayor. If you want to have a king,
sucks.
that's
I mean, who
cool.
wants
If
to
you
be
want to
a
have a
mayor?
queen, that's fine too.
Absolutely. I
If you
can tell
wanna
you
have
down
a
in
jester.
Davytown that would be huge.
That
I'm a queen. Come on. Oh, come on. Work with me here, dude. I'm giving all these great. Never mind.
but we're not stereotyping.
I
here.
missed that
mean,
one. I'm sorry.
I don't think everyone on Davy Street would want to be called the queen. I mean, some places.
No, you
it's
could have
king.
option.
Yeah.
You could be like but who wants to be a mayor? I mean, mayor, it's like
I know,
a
it
dodgy
sucks.
title. Like superstar or cool dude or like,
Cool dude.
I'm the cool dude for this place because exactly. Oh, okay, so James doesn't think cool dude's cool, but
Well, no, I think it's fine. I
the
just think
fawns, hey.
That's funny. Maybe the fawns. That would be a good
got
one.
clothing.
If you have a jukebox,
Prima donna,
prima donna.
bitch, lots of stuff.
I'd prefer all of those to mayor.
Exactly.
I'm the mayor of the SO station at First and Boundary.
Wouldn't you be
Nice.
prefer to be like
How
bimbo?
sucky is that?
Do you get an ice cream sandwich at least?
No.
See,
That's
that
not
is
me.
bad. You should get an
No,
ice cream
that's-
sandwich.
Especially
Her
if
phone
you use
her phone
Android.
doesn't support it yet.
What? Oh,
You gotta have an Android phone. Oh,
It
that's
doesn't either
No.
because I'm cheap.
Not a girl.
and she's in the 81% of the market space.
Actually, that's another thing. You could get not cheap but frugal. I mean, I go to this place. So I always go for the discount foods and stuff. So I get a frugal tag, so I can hang out with the other frugal people and share tips on how to save money. And then you can have the extravagant people that have more money than brains.
Yeah, that we buy used phones from.
Exactly. So I mean, this is
nice.
Anyways. So all you developers out there, whip that stuff up.
Hey,
and,
does anybody use? There's a couple of tools here that social media tools I found interesting. One of them I actually like. The other one I'm not so sure about. One is called Community. Anybody use that?
That's struggling for a .com if I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
So it's commune.it, and it is. You can sign up to it. It's strictly a Twitter tool, and it will analyze your. It's kind of combining clout with Hootsuite, kind of. So you're, yeah.
My favorite things. In the
well, it's not really a scheduling or a cross posting platform. All it is it takes all your followers and it tells you which ones are influential. It organizes it by influence and tells you which ones you might want to consider unfollowing, and tells you which ones are that influence you and which ones you influence. So it's kind of cool.
That's what
MMUN.
That's what Bonnie and I were talking about earlier.
What's it called again?
Commune IT. I've been playing with it, and it's pretty cool. And you get it's a freemium model. You get a little bit of use for free every week, and then if you want unlimited use, it's $5 a month. And Bob was saying that seems to be the magic number.
Seems to be. Actually, I wanted to ask Bonnie, you guys were frothing out on some software before we turned to Microsoft. What was that?
Buffer.
Now, is that the nudist colony one? No.
It's awesome. That's my favorite Twitter tool.
It is absolutely the best.
But it's not just a Twitter tour Buffer.
Oh,
Buffer.
It's Facebook and LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
How about G+? Not yet?
Not yet.
Everybody's scrambling for G+.
I know. I wish it was.
Sending emails out to a bunch of people. Say, hey, when are you going to have G+? And, we're working on it. We're trying.
G+ and Pinterest still on hold.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know why. API problems, James?
Well, it just takes time.
So do you want to hear about Buffer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buff it up, baby.
So you set up your schedule for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and for
Twitter.
Facebook, LinkedIn, and
Yeah.
Twitter.
So like aggregation. Yeah.
Yep. And you set up the schedule. So you can say, I want LinkedIn 1 time a day at 2:00. My Facebook, I want 3 times a day. No, 10 times a day. Every half hour, starting at 8:00 in the morning. And Twitter 8 times a day. And these are the times. And so you set that up. You set up all your various accounts. And once that's all done, in Chrome and Firefox, I don't use anything else, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an add-on. So you put some nice little icon up at the top, and when you see a blog post or any kind of display,
Anything.
That looks cool.
and I mean anything that you want to tweet about, you press the Buffer icon, it comes up. Oh, and then you say, okay, I want it this, and this Twitter account and Facebook, and it formats it all nicely.
Oh, nice.
And if you can also use your Bitly API, and so it does everything for you. You take a look at it and go, and you can edit, you can add things to it, and then you press you can post now, or you can schedule it.
Now, when you say schedule, that goes back to that schedule you set up before.
Absolutely.
And does it remember it for day to day? You can say, I want this to happen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but on Tuesdays I want to have more.
No, it doesn't allow you to
So
spam.
it just blankets.
It's just one after the other, and
All
then you set it up for 4 or 5 tweets in this case, and then you can edit them again after that, or you can move them around, which is what I do. So I do a whole day's worth of scheduled tweets. Oh, she schedules her tweets.
Oh my God.
I know. And so then you go through and you make sure that there's not 3 Mashables in a row, or
You can move them
So
around.
what makes that better than, let's say, Hootsuite?
Okay, first of all, Hootsuite sucks.
Yeah, other than you're biased, Bonnie.
Because
but
it takes forever.
forever. It's a
It
time
takes
thing, right?
forever in Hootsuite. You got to do this. You got to hold your tongue just this way.
Too many steps, basically, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This, truly, you see something
And it's
that's
done.
cool.
Click and done.
Okay, so
you push the button and it's done, isn't it? It's just
So wait a minute. Maybe that's
Now,
why I haven't been using Hootsuite correctly. So exactly how do you have to hold your tongue?
I don't know.
Ooh, speaking of holding his
I haven't used it for 5 years,
No,
so
but-
I'm
but-
sure.
Sasha, you've been using this, so,
Yeah.
so give us some feedback.
No, it's fantastic. I was looking for something exactly like this until Bonnie and Margaret mentioned Buffer, and I was like, Buffer? What's Buffer? And they, of course, gave me a rundown. I went home, installed it the same day. Been loving it. It's fantastic.
Now, are
So
you
we're-
using the freemium model
Yeah, I
or
was
the
just
paid
gonna
model?
ask the
Because the
exact same thing.
freemium model, you'd
No.
only get like 10 buffers, and with the paid model, it's
I
infinite.
definitely pay the $5 a
Yeah.
month because
I mean,
it's worth it.
$5,
I pay
come
for
on.
it.
I'm using the free one.
Yeah.
The free one allows you to stack it only for a day, but I'm okay with it because it'll hold like some 12 or 13 posts at a time. So if you're posting it 3 times a day, you're good for 2 days. I post it like 7 or 8 times a day, so I'm good for a day and a half.
Yeah.
But then again, I live online, so in the evening or something when I'm putzing around, I see something nice, I'll stack it up. Only thing I have not been able to do with Buffer is I want those posts to go not on my Facebook personal page, but I want it to go on
Your
my
business
business page, and that seems to be a bit of a sticky issue.
Okay. I don't have one of those on timeline. I
Well,
deleted
wouldn't
it,
you
so-
just use your business page address?
You do, but I've
Maybe it's
had
getting stopped because you have to be logged into
That
your
might
Facebook
be
account. And
something.
then, yeah.
Is
something.
it a premium feature, that?
Probably
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
check it out.
See?
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay
There you
the
go.
shekels, dude.
There you go.
All right,
Wanna
so
play the game?
Worth the money, it's cheap.
the other app I was looking at or site I was looking at was brandyourself.com. And this one is interesting. And I don't know, I just had this feeling while I was in it. Basically what you're doing is you go into this Brand Yourself, and they are trying to get SEO to the common person is what they say. They say, okay, we want to demystify this. You sign into your social platforms on brandyourself.com, and basically what they're doing is they're trying to get your Brand Yourself profile and everything else that you put in there, all your websites and everything, to move up the search engines. But every single thing that you do, you want to link back to they get you to link back to your Brand Yourself profile. So all I'm thinking is really what you're doing is you're giving them SEO. So I don't know. I'm not sure about it, but it's I'd be too bad you're not on it because you know quite a bit about SEO.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's do a big shout out. Everybody check that out and get back to us on it. That's awesome. Here's a bit of a segue, dude. Did you put this in? Looking for the perfect tweet? Because I know Bonnie would be all over this. An algorithm detects trending tweets before it happens. What's with that? That's crazy.
So,
Whoa.
Yep.
but trending is like Britney Spears. So do we really care?
That's true.
Well, depends what you're doing. I mean, if you're pushing for something, you want it to trend, I guess.
and
it
that
makes
can be
sense.
game too, right?
I would guess
Named?
so.
Yeah.
Paper birds.
Yeah.
Paper bees.
Paper bees.
You get a bunch of people in a room, you can trend a topic.
Is that something you're alluding to there, sir?
Maybe.
Are you alluding to the fact that we got EXP bar trending in Vancouver and Canada on Friday of last week?
No.
I didn't know that, but yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you do that?
Well, we got the gaming community together and we did it.
You gamed it.
We didn't game it.
No, that's
No,
not gaming.
we-
Oh, come on. It was such a great straight
We-
line. I
we
couldn't
all-
help myself.
I know.
But we all got together and we decided that, we got some news that the LBLC had banned video games in our friend's bar. And we decided to take to the social media to shed some light on this and get
Yay, James.
some actual signatures for his petition so he can have video games in his bar. Because according to the LBLC,
Oh, no. Don't get those guys started.
you can't have video game consoles at the tables if you're going to serve food and liquor.
Yep.
And so, yeah. And so as soon as we did that, CTV ran down to his location.
Nice.
And did an interview with him, and then the Georgia Straight did an interview with him. Now it's CBC. So, I guess you can kind of trend things if you really want to. But
well, if you have a community, that's the power of a community.
Yeah, it took us about probably an hour and a half.
Or just not bad.
So
probably about 15 people. So.
Hey,
Cool.
was it that buddy
Whoa,
of yours
I'm
that was doing stuff with the Vancouver riots? Remember, he started that.
No,
Vancouver
this is
That's
a different guy.
Different dude.
This is a different
Your
guy.
friend started the riot?
No.
He started the Facebook page for identifying the rioters.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and then
So-
it just exploded.
and
So
then
your
he-
friend's a narc?
Yeah, but
No, but
No,
he sold it
he-
for the police for a lot of money.
He was trying to do what he thought was a good way to use social media at the time.
Yep.
So he was
Hey.
he wasn't public shaming. He was just trying to identify the people that were causing a lot of the problems.
Yep.
Oh, no, I think we all agree it was a good thing. I was just making a joke.
I know. I just
Hey,
thought
what's,
I'd.
No, you
yeah.
weren't. No, you weren't.
Nothing wrong with catching the bad guys.
But yeah, and then he.
Yeah, but nothing ever happens because the
well,
Canadian court
he
system
did go on
screwed up.
CTV the next day. So what does it sound? It sounds like CTV is really plugged in.
so, hey,
Yeah.
Bob, how does that
Hey, Andrew.
how does that algorithm work that you're talking about here?
Yeah, the perfect tweet.
I don't know. Is this your story or mine? I
That's
think this is
yours.
your stories, dude.
I think it said something to do about politics. It has to have a good headline.
See, here's someone that did their research.
Yeah.
Well, that's the ironic thing because I sent all these.
He sent
show
it to me, and I'm like, I might as well read this.
I sent all these show notes, and then my whole world exploded in front of me, and I haven't read the show notes, which is ironic because I want to thank God somebody listens
Yes.
to me.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Thanks, James.
it's basically analyzing the features of an article that's tweeted for certain characteristics, which is like the source of the post, the category of the news,
Yeah.
and the subjectivity of the language, and the name entities that are listed in the article, and then it quantifies these and turns it into a probability of trendiness.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that article, though. I mean, it's usually stuff that catches people off by surprise that is more likely to trend than something like, I don't know, Britney Spears shows us her underwear. I don't know. Like things like that. Like politics.
or like
politics
a
are
national
always
coup in some foreign country.
Yeah, those things are always popular because people want the latest news, right?
Did we have some trending at Bonnie? Weren't you doing some magic one day and we almost trended, or we trended for a little bit here in the Bunker Project?
That was when James brought
That's
the,
when we had the social media
club here.
That's
Yeah.
that's when I learned how to trend things.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had like 25 people that we were doing the show.
Half
and
the people didn't say a word; they just had
They
their
were-
They're
heads
just
up,
tweeting.
text, tweet,
Yeah.
tweet,
constantly
tweet.
tweeting. And then Kemp trended first, and then after that, the Bunker Project trended.
Oh, speaking of apps, did anybody try that Mystify thing? We had that Mystify California guys.
Oh, Streamify.
Streamify.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
I
used
was
it,
about
yeah.
to go in for
Was
Yeah,
it
I use
good?
it. It's getting better. I actually do like it, but I haven't been using it as much. Partially because it's an iOS app, and I don't use an iOS device. I have been using the web extension a little bit.
Mm.
And it's pretty cool.
Very similar to Buffer.
I think they're going that way, but for now it's not. But what you can do is right from Google Plus, you can add it to your Streamify, and it does operate in a similar fashion. But they haven't started their premium model yet. They haven't got that going. But the free version is not bad. It's pretty cool. And in terms of the iOS app on an iPad, it looks awesome. But I don't have an iPad.
I am in the tablet market, and I'm actually waiting for Windows 8. Should I?
Well,
should I?
hey, we're going to talk about that next show because we're
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
towards the end of the show, and I
Gotcha.
think we could spend quite a bit of time on
Could
that.
we do good old-fashioned iOS bashing
No.
Oh,
to
yes,
round up
please.
the show? Because Android already offers more than iOS 6, and Android is 1 year old.
Yep.
A lot of the things
Android,
that
what do you mean Android is 1 year old?
No, the not Android, but the
Ice cream
ice
sandwich?
cream sandwich is a little bit older, and iOS just came out, and a lot of the features in iOS already exist on Android. But the negative side of this is that a lot of people aren't updating to the new systems on Android, so there's a lot of disconnection.
Well, the problem with
One of
Android,
those
the,
words.
Discombobulation.
the problem
Thank
with
you.
Android
That's the word.
is the confusion over, what version am I on?
Yes.
And because if you're on one version, you can have access to some apps that you can't get on other versions. And the other problem is there's manufacturers' overlays, and it's a problem, but it's not necessarily a problem. It just makes it more confusing. For instance, TouchWiz is Samsung's overlay, and there's a lot of cool things in TouchWiz. HTC Sense. HTC Sense has some cool features too, and that's HTC's overlay. LG has their own overlay. Motorola had Moto Blur before they
what
were
was
bought
that other
by
thing
Google.
called?
And it's called TouchWiz.
Not
And-
Touchwood. Sorry.
No, TouchWiz.
Yeah, TouchWiz. So they've got Samsung's got some really cool features. So it adds something. So every manufacturer wants to
the
differentiate
water.
their phone. They would they don't want to just be an Android phone. So, and then Google came out with their Nexus phone because they wanted to have a pure blood Android phone without the bloatware, as some people call it.
Yep.
So,
That's what I got.
yeah.
I run
Google has a
Cyanogen.
phone now?
Cyanogen mod,
Ben.
which is no bloatware. It runs on at least 3 models of phones that I know of, and the thing runs like a top.
It strips
And I
it all
don't,
down, eh?
and I don't
Huh.
have any I don't do any Samsung stuff.
Cyanogen blue.
Cyanogen mod. CYANOGENMOD.
Oh, that
On
sounds
the
good.
on the Galaxy Note and also on the new S3, it's the TouchWiz. James, every time I say TouchWiz,
I know.
James is going to laugh.
touches himself.
Whoever thinks that was a good idea for something, like, come on.
Anyways,
What are you doing?
It's-
I'm going to TouchWiz.
the features, the added features are actually really cool, really really cool. So we talked about that actually a few episodes ago.
So if I want to try the cyanogen, how do I put that on?
I don't know. I paid some guy $20 to do it for me.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, can I apologize? I was just taking the piss out of TouchWiz.
Oh, I was waiting for that for what?
James.
30, 40 seconds. Ay. Somebody's got to do it, not me.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, TouchWiz.
So now that we've totally stalled out the show on some pissy subject,
Well,
dangling participles.
you wanted to bring up the difference between like Android and iOS, right?
what?
So Apple has 650,000 apps for the iPhone, 225,000 apps for the iPad. So that's like huge. Android is currently at 450,000 apps, most of those of which will also work on their tablet. So, and the Windows Phone platform now has just over 100,000 apps. So, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, hundreds of thousands of apps. How many apps do you
I
have
know.
on your phone? 70, 80, 150, 200. How many do you actually use? 5, 10,
Yep,
maybe.
that's right.
If
Yeah,
you're a
but
power user.
but I mean the thing is, variety of apps is important, and I know it sounds like huge numbers, but really when it comes down to it, BlackBerry had like 30,000 apps or something like that.
Well, that's
but when you actually go looking for something that you want to use,
you get one or two choices.
it's not there. It's frustrating, and same thing with when the Windows Phone first came out, there was hardly any apps, and the ones that were there were like 3 or 4 times the price, or 5 or 6 times the price of an Android or Apple app. So it was once again frustrating. So I think that in order for it to be called a smartphone, it has to have a really good app ecosystem in order for it to be something that's really usable as a smartphone, which they all are now. 100,000 is healthy in my opinion.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can I talk about community? It just finished analyzing my Twitter followers
Yeah.
and my high value members. The top one is Margaret Reynolds.
Hey,
Nice.
Margaret. Well
BC
done, Margaret.
_ insurance gal. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Is
So
she paying you,
smart.
Bonnie?
so what's your
She must be paying community, or maybe she really is a high value.
so you just signed up. You just
I just
finished.
signed up a minute ago.
Took a few
5
minutes
minutes ago,
to
yeah.
analyze. Yeah, that's what it did with
And
mine
then
too.
it come up with Margaret as one of my high value followers.
So what's your first impression of the interface?
Well, there's a pretty picture of Margaret, so that's all I've done. I just thought it was very interesting that it obviously, because Margaret and I do have a lot of interactions. Barbara Wesley,
A lot of Twitter conversations.
yeah,
And
conversations.
she retweets
Janelle
a lot of your.
Peters is another one that I have conversations with. So it is at least with like the first 10 seconds that I've looked at it, it does seem to at least know who I retweet all the time. There's one person missing.
So what it does is it rates people based on their importance to you and also on their influence.
Yes.
And yeah, so I think it's really cool, and that's another one that's $5 a month if you want to be able to use a to any degree, really.
Yeah, those $5 a month add up after a while.
Your
right?
first week you have unlimited use. And then after that, you have like I think 40 interactions with people through their platform, and then but I use the 40 in the first like 20 minutes of being on there. Anyways, so I'm like, holy crap!
Guys tweet about. I can't figure that out.
Come to my next Twitter workshop, and you'll find out.
Exactly.
Gosh.
It's
Yeah.
all about quality content.
When are you having one?
Oh, we're running
Next
out of time.
month.
Let me know.
So
Well, let's bring up that subject on the next. You had that awesome idea for next show.
yeah, we're gonna bring up the new Surface tablet from Microsoft, and we can continue along this conversation next week.
Absolutely.
Any announcements? Anybody have something to say?
Hey, yeah, we've got 100th show coming up, and we've changed the date yet again. Sorry, there's some fireworks happening on the day we had planned, which is the 1st. So we're going to be moving it to the 2nd, right, Andrew?
That's right.
Thank you. So August 2nd.
What date? What day is that?
August 2nd is a
Thursday. Thursday. Bunker 100, Thursday.
Come on down. We've got big trucks, we got small trucks, and we got black beer.
And you won't need all your seat, you'll just need the edge.
Don't bring the kids. We're going to really be partying.
And there's gonna be lots of black beer.
So yeah, it should be a great party. We're gonna do show 99 regular, and
Hey, you know
then
what,
show 100 could be just as complete.
You know what we didn't talk
crazy
about? We
show.
didn't talk about Bob's brand new mic.
Ooh,
He's got this black shiny mic.
Andrew is getting more mileage out of my new equipment than I ever will.
Anyways, hey, it sounds pretty. It sounds pretty
Like
good,
the third
doesn't it?
show, I think. And Bob's getting this. Hey, it's just a mic. Maybe do I sound nasal? I don't know.
Sounds pretty good, man.
Sounds good.
I got 2 settings, so I'm going to put it on the other setting for the next show.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Bunker Show.
Brought to you by Wix.
We
Call-
heart Wix.
Call 1-877-636-1474. Leave a message and we'll play it in the show if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen. I mean, what? 2 years, 3 calls? That's pretty bad action, man. Anyways, enjoy. See you next week sometime. Toodles.